you try to carry the balance of intensity to win, but also you're out there and you have fun. I've been out there on the course with you on a motorcycle, of course, because I couldn't keep up with you, dropping like a sack of rocks. But you're always fun out there. You keep a smile on your face. Talk about positive attitude and the power of positive mental thinking out there, especially for the athletes. Do we have any athletes, first-timers here in Kona that you're racing?
Oh.
All right, so we got a few hands out there. So maybe speak to these young lads about mentally how to keep it in one stock on race day.
Well, that's not a smile, you see, it's a grimace. Welcome to Kona for the first time. Congratulations. I know a lot of people who would do anything to get here, so it's a real honour for you guys to be racing here. It's going to be a tough day, and my advice to you is, staying positive. It's easy said when it's, you're sitting here and you're not hurting, but just stay in the moment, enjoy the day, and just enjoy how lucky you are to be here. I think, we get engulfed in this moment of Kona, and we get very much into the nervousness of the race, but just remember how privileged and lucky you are to be here, and when you go in with that attitude and you think of that when you're hurting, the day will go very, very quickly, and I can assure you there's nothing like a Leahy Drive running down to that finish chute. It's, there's Ironman racing, and then there's Kona, and this is the granddaddy of them all.
We're going to open it up to some questions. Does anybody have any questions for Chris? We're going to do some poster signing later, but right now we'll encourage you to ask questions. I'll come out to the audience and see if you got any questions. And be kind on the questions, too. We got a question. You're from Switzerland. You had a question earlier today.
Sweden.
Sweden, sorry, babe.
No, actually not yet.
Okay.
Maybe later on.
Who's got a question? Come on over here away from the speaker so we don't get some feedback. Living strong. All right. Where are you from?
I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I was just wondering what you eat, like before the race, morning of, and during, and what kind of stuff what kind of things fuel that body?
Fuel my body. The evening before I eat lasagna, there's no nutritional reason. My mother used to cook that for me for my soccer games when I was a young boy, and it's become a superstition of mine, so I eat lasagna before every event I ever do. Race morning, I tend to wake up about 3 hours before the race. I have a little piece of toast, some liquid food, some of the Cliff Blocks. They're a simple sugar, it's easy to absorb. And I'm sipping away an electrolyte drink. During the race, I'm taking on about 400 calories an hour in the first 3.5 hours of the race, and then I bring that back a bit. I take those calories mainly through gels. I'm lucky I don't need to take solid foods on. A lot of people do need that, but I'm one of those people who can pretty much get through these Ironmans on gels. Just 400 calories an hour, first 3.5 hours, and I drop that to about 300 calories. Make sure you get the electrolytes in, your salt sticks, your salt, and drink lots. Yeah. And let your nutrition plan evolve during the race. That's my advice to most people, is that you don't need to stick to this stringent plan. You have a guideline, but if you're feeling off and feeling sick, then back off a little bit. But I see a lot of people out there, they must have a shot or a gel every 20 minutes, and they're throwing up every 10 minutes. You're like, man, just back it off a little bit. So allow your eating plan to evolve and trust your instincts a little bit, and you'll be fine.
Good luck, have a great race.
You too. Cheers.
All right, with us on the main stage, brought to you by Triathlete Magazine, Chris Macca McCormack, our Ford 2007 Ironman champion. Question for this Marine. Are you with the Marines?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for serving, sir. What's your question for Macca?
You gonna race Silverman again this year?
I'd like to, yeah. We'll see how I pull up after this. That's a tough race. I go there every year, and I not regret the race, but I regret going there because it's so tough after Kona. So any excuse to go to Vegas is a good excuse. So we'll see. Probably.
Good to do more. Good luck on Saturday.
Cheers.
All right, question for Chris Macca McCormack. He will be signing autographs over beside us at the Triathlete Magazine booth after the press conference here. We got about 15 more minutes to go. Questions? Yes, sir. Where are you from? What's your name, young man?
Robert Taylor, Lexington, South Carolina. Hey, Chris, I saw you in China. What did you think about the China? I know you didn't do the full race, but what did you think about that? The conditions over there compared to your worst day over here?
Oh, mate, that was the toughest day in triathlon history, I think, that race in China. Anybody who raced there, is a hero of mine, because that was, I did the half, and I still have nightmares about that event. So anybody who completed the full is an absolute legend. There was a lot of talk after that. I know Rasmus Henning won the elite title, the pro race there with the 3:45 marathon, and I know there was a lot of chat around that it was a terrible run time, and I'm like, no, you've got no idea. That was an impressive run time to be able to get to the finish. It was the toughest. I've raced 20 years as a triathlete. That was the toughest conditions I've ever seen in my life, and well done for racing there.
Yeah, I'll never forget when you came across, you only see the finish line in the last few hundred yards, and when you saw that, your shoulders just dropped, you physically drooped, and it was 110. It was unbelievable, and you and Luke McKenzie were just shot. I mean,
That was in the shade. That was where you were under the tent.
110 in the shade, 125 heat in there. Talk more about that experience culturally, because you've been around the world racing since you were a kid. Talk about China.
Yeah, China was a great race. It's I'm thinking of going back again next year. I'm gonna suck up the punishment.
Cool.
I think it was a wonderful event. It wasn't so blown out like a lot of these races are getting nowadays, where they're so huge and so big. It was very much, it was a quaint, nice environment. There was about 1,000 athletes, and we all sort of hung out in a resort, and I really enjoyed it. It was really, really nice.
They changed it to March now. Supposedly it's going to be a little nicer.
A little cooler. What does a little cooler mean?
105.
It couldn't be any hotter, surely. A little cooler is probably Kona cool, I guess, over there. So.
Here we got another question. This lady, are you from New Zealand?
Australia.
Yes.
I'm just wondering when you're going back to Port Mac.
I'd like to go. It's the 25th anniversary this year, I think. I sort of set myself a goal there to win 5 titles. Paulie Hero won 4, and when I did that, I was like, now I can move on to something else. But I do miss it. Every year I follow the results there. I've got so many friends that race there, and I'd definitely like to be back in Australia before I hang the shoes up. So it'll be soon. Thank you. You too.
All right, question for the 2007 Ford Ironman champion, Chris Macca McCormack. What's your name and where are you from?
Simon Eady from Norwich in the United Kingdom. The other side of the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, what are your strategies for trying to keep cool on the run? I mean, I know you can't keep cool on the run, but what am I going to do?
Trying to stay cool, you want to take as many of those sponges as you possibly can. I tend to stuff them down the front of my race jersey, which doesn't make for a good finish photo, but I do everything. I take your time through those aid stations. Make sure you get your fluids in. I see a lot of people as I'm coming back, a lot of amateurs are tipping a lot of the water on their head, which is good, but make sure you're also taking some of that fluid on board, because that's key. Throwing it on your head's fine, very, very good. Grab the ice when you can. Tend to put the ice down the front of your pants and hold it in your hands. That can tend to give you a cooler feeling. And sponges. And take those sponges with you. If you can put them under your jersey and take them out and between the aid stations. Run from aid station to aid station, but knowing if you've got some wet sponges there that you can use halfway between an aid station is always a nice thing mentally. But any advice for staying cool? There is none. Just anything you can to stay cool, do it. It's much warmer than England. Yeah.
All right, questions. Yes, sir, from Sweden.
Hi, Chris. How will your race bike will be equipped? Wheels and the other stuff like?
Yeah, I'm riding the Specialized Shiv, the world champion bike that Cancellara just won the World TT Bike Championships on, so it's the fastest bike in the world. I'm riding a 1080 zip rear with an 808 front. It's funny because whenever you come to Kona, everybody's talking wheel choice for this race because of the wind conditions. I spent 7 weeks here testing most of the wheels out. I found the 808 a nice front wheel choice for me. A lot of people have chosen to do the 404 front, but that's it right there. All right, without the disc. Without the disc, the 1080 rear. I think the wheel choice is key. Everyone talks about the wind, but when there's, if you've got a bigger wheel on the back, then you're going to go a lot quicker.
One more question from this man from Sweden.
And you will be wearing aero helmet or?
Aero helmet, yes. Aero helmet, tight lycra kit, everything triathlon related. Yes.
And it's not getting you too hot, or it's easy to cool down?
You definitely get hot, but the dilemma we have is if I could convince these Europeans to ride the bike a little slower, it'd be nice. I wouldn't have to put all these fast tools on. But you know, it's definitely hotter than a conventional helmet. But you know, Specialized they've got a great TT helmet in the sense that you can get water in the vents at the back. A lot of the other aero helmets don't have that option, and you know, Specialized have those 3 vents at the back that can squirt water in and keep the head cool. And like they say, the worst aero helmet is better than the best race wheel. So I'm wearing an aero helmet.
Okay, good luck, Chris.
Cheers, you too.